Well, on Monday, President Obama made remarks attempting to spin his, sorry, Lanny, lie, on whether Americans can keep their health coverage. Well, we covered it right here on the 5. But did the mainstream media bat an eye? Let's check the scorecard. Brian Williams, NBC Nightly? Nope. Diane Sawyer and ABC World News? The Today Show? Nope. Good Morning America? Not a word. Well, they weren't done, though, because we brought you a story yesterday about Democratic anger at the president over the unsuccessful rollout of Obamacare. Now, let's just see if that one was reported by the so-called media big boys. Well, this might seem like Groundhog Day, but bear with me. Brian Williams and NBC Nightly? Again, nope. Diane Sawyer and ABC World News? Nope. Today Show? Good Morning America? Sadly, I didn't think so. All right, we should note, CBS provided some coverage of these two stories. Is anyone surprised? Show of hands around the table. Lanny even. Can you get that elbow up? No, Lanny. Failure to launch.
Can't get it up.
As someone who still believes in a vast right-wing conspiracy, I would not be surprised at anything. This is an example of media not paying attention, but it's not biased.
Okay.
Wait, time out. They're not paying attention. One of the probably the biggest story in the last 2 years, and they're not paying attention. Obamacare rollout is an utter disaster. The president is out there having he and his people with the big lie, and the media, mainstream media, is just not paying attention. There's no conspiracy. They haven't decided against reporting something that's not good for the president.
But that's why it's important to watch Fox, so you can actually become equipped with the truth to understand exactly what's going on, because we literally just went through the scorecard to explain to you in factual detail who covered this, who didn't, and you got to hear it, Lanny. I mean, that's how you know so much.
So if you really think that all these people who are journalists for a long time, who last time I was in the Clinton White House were after Bill Clinton, and very tough on Bill Clinton, a lot of those people.
You think they're tough on President Obama or on Obamacare?
I think that they have covered plenty about the crash and train wreck of these websites and some issues that you mentioned they haven't done. They should have, I agree, but I don't see any ideological bias as the reason.
But they were tough on Clinton about personal issues, I think, and not about ideological ones.
Don't ask Bill Clinton that question, because they were tough on him about a lot of issues, and they've been tough on Obama about Obamacare.
The media had to go after Bill Clinton because they hadn't, at that point, when you're having sex in the Oval Office, you got to do
wait,
I'm sorry, it wasn't sex, it was oral sex.
Start with the. I'm not going there.
Wait, but I want to
start with the travel office and all these mighty big scandals like campaign finance that went absolutely nowhere. This is all driven by what you guys call the liberal media. The New York Times is what. Remember Whitewater? $70 million later, nothing. That was the liberal media.
But can I make? I just want to. When the media hounds a Republican or a conservative, that's considered investigative journalism, i.e., Watergate. However, when you cover a liberal or a Democrat, the newsroom sees it as thinking, especially when they love a candidate and they love Obama. So when you break a story critical of Obama, they treat you like Serpico.
They really do. That's their boy. They have a big, prom king crush on him. All right, Jedediah, so let's talk about professionalism here. How did the media miss this? All these professionals at these networks, okay, at NBC, ABC, all across the board. How? What's the explanation for that?
Way back when we were pointing out all these flaws, they didn't even ask questions. When Barack Obama said, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan, everyone just took his word for it and said, well, okay, well, he said it. I guess it must be true. No one asked questions about what kinds of regulations might emerge that may make that a problem, which is exactly what happened. Sebelius put through these regulations that made the grandfather clause all messed up, and now people don't have the insurance that they had. So they're only covering it now because the whole website fell apart, and they had to. They were obligated to do. But when they had to be real journalists, which is back, 2 years ago, they just let that all slip.
Prevent this.
So I don't want to hurt your reputation. I completely agree with what you just said, and the regulations really were written by a bunch of people that didn't consider the consequences and intended consequences. I think are not, this thing has to be fixed, starting with the regulations.
Here's the problem: is that President Obama has realized that this is an utter disaster, so he's going to go out and try and clean it up with these lies upon lies, the big lie, and the mainstream media has decided that they want him on their air, and so they're not going to ask the tough questions. 60 Minutes gets him on. NBC Morning Joe gets the president on. Does he ever come? You can't even get Jay Carney to come on this network and explain some of the lies that they're perpetrating. Well, honestly, Lanny, I don't blame them for not giving them a hard time. Then they get their guests.
Remember, Obama's already elected. You know,
That's right.
And I think the bigger issue here isn't that they're covering it now; it's that they covered it up in order for him to be elected. They'll do anything for him to win. The media and Obama, they're conjoined twins. Wherever he goes, they're with him every step of the way. So now that they're covering these misdeeds, I can't applaud them. I can't because you were wrong every time. You were corrupt, and now you're doing something right.
All right, so we're giving them a failing grade. They have to stay after school forever.
Detention.
But here's one of my favorite little pieces of sound for the day. I hope you enjoy it with us. And this is the president speaking in Dallas, Texas, and he's got an explanation for the whole thing. So just don't worry. Here it is.
This is like having a really good product in a store and the cash registers don't work and there aren't enough parking spots and nobody can get through the door. And so we are working overtime to get this fixed. And the website is already better than it was at the beginning of October.
Don't worry, it's better. There were 5 people that got on and enrolled, and now it's 6.
Wait a minute. The greatest thing was the sign. That was a fantastic. Did you see the sign? The sign, by the way, was probably done by kids. It was better. It was better executed than Obamacare. I mean, at least you can read that.
Well, you understand, Bob said that was the whole problem, that all this would be like wiped away, like wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi, if they only started calling it like affordable.
Why do I get the impression that Republicans and conservatives are celebrating the failure? Is there anything to do with
we're right.
politics here?
Well, because it's terrible. We're not celebrating.
Is it about people getting health insurance who don't ever have to worry?
That's a false.
Under Obamacare, they never have to worry again about pre-existing conditions.
So you're saying people who are critical of Obamacare want all people to die?
It's just a little bit too celebration.
No. You know what it is? It's saying
what is a
But those are the
we're allowed to
president's
say
words.
I told you so. We're allowed to say I told you so.
But not so happy.
I can't
Don't have such joy in this disaster.
Well, but you know
we're
what?
going to fix this.
Lanny, we're not making it up. Those are the president's words. You understand that? We're not making anything up here. We're just playing what the president told the American people. We're putting it in a factual and chronological order. We're going to let the American people decide, because we have the responsibility to do this job, because the other networks like Obamacare have failed to launch to do the journalism jobs they were hired to do.
The problem is, Lanny, with your argument is, yeah, you're going to fix it. No doubt you're going to fix it. Sure, probably not the end of November, maybe not the end of December, January. But once that's fixed, you're going to realize that all the premises that they baked into that system to tell us how much it was going to cost are going to get thrown right out the window, because young people